Welcome to Draw Process. I'm Ike. I'm drawing episode 2, page 19 of my comic First Sun and Sword today. You can read all of my comics at cleverkaiju.com or ikecomics.com. They're free to read. And in this video series, I draw a comic book page and share my thoughts and techniques and stuff along the way. So let's get into that. Page 19, I go with some long, full-width panels. Very cinematic in that sense, this very widescreen panels. You see that a lot in comics these days. I don't do it very often because I like to put a lot of panels in my pages. But with this page, it felt right. We have a series of 3 long horizontal panels and then the 3 vertical ones at the bottom grouped together. And the composition's going to guide the eye. It's going to be like a triangle, an upside down pyramid, triangle at the bottom, point at the bottom, as things are guided down to her face, a close up on her. And because again, I don't thumbnail anymore, you're going to see me erasing and drawing and trying to construct the space. Each time a slightly different take on what I'm trying to show. In this panel, which is mainly the room of henchmen, and I'm trying to show the danger that she feels. So she's kind of getting the runaround from Pompidou, and she has to decide what she's going to do about it. So she's noticing the room of men. This is tension building. It is time passing. And it's her thoughts on display. You know, she's looking like, okay, I might have to fight these people. And our attention going from this to Pompidou and then to her. And her face is going to have, a strong expression of kind of like disgust. And then she's going to walk right out of the room. And Pompidou will smile. So, trying to, work out that page. So, lately I have been a lot busier with my day job, counseling, and not had as much time on comics as I would like. It's a good change because I need to spend more time doing counseling. Financially, that's the right thing to do. But it fills up the schedule. I'm even going to work every other Saturday, some hours at least. And I know I can continue to at least do 1 page per week of this comic. But my attention, my focus is not so heavily on it. And I was thinking I would talk about that today because I know a lot of people can relate. Like trying to do art while having kids, a job, so on. It can be difficult. I think one of the ways it feels difficult is to, I guess, self-doubt, burnout, feel you're losing your edge, losing your focus. It's not just about the quantity of work that you can put out, the time you can put in, but it's the mental game, the emotional game of feeling like I'm not as comic artist as much as I used to be. I'm not growing. I'm not invested as much as I was. And then that introduces feelings of burnout or, that kind of depression feeling, because it's like, if I'm not putting the time in that I used to, then I'm the focus. If I'm losing my focus as well, then I'm nowhere. I'm just gonna fall off the edge. So, and what's the point? These kind of thoughts. I'm finding that is just a feeling that comes with not working as often. And that as soon as I start working more often, drawing comic pages more often, drawing more often, as soon as I have the time to do more of it, those thoughts go away magically. Magically, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling invested. I know I'm on track, that I care more about comics and about my comics. So it really seems to be, those feelings are kind of a function of my behavior. They're a function of putting time in to do it. And it can come at any time. It seems to me, for me, it doesn't matter if it's a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks since I've drawn a page. And in the past, sometimes I went months without, I went an entire year without drawing like my own comic pages. I drew 13 of from Fifth Element for fun. But no matter how much time I spend away, I can come back and it's good to go. The feelings follow. I'm invested again. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know it's who I am. And that gives me peace to know that I can take a break sometimes when I'm busy. And I can come back. It'll be there for me when I get back. And I just got to put the time in and not let it get to me. Not worry so much. Not worry about my identity. Like, am I a comic creator or not? Is like, I am if I do it. If I put time in doing it, then I am. And even right now, I'm just taking a break. And as soon as I'm putting in time in again, well, I will be. And that means that even during the break, that I'm the same person that's going to be doing it later. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to go on vacation. It's okay to work on other things in life for a bit. So that's one of the things I'm learning, is just an understanding, a wisdom about that, and a focus on the behaviors, the putting in time and knowing that the feelings follow. It works too if drawing a page. If I'm not sure that I'm motivated to draw a page, as soon as I sit down and start doing it, before long the motivation follows. Yeah, maybe that's something about discipline. This relates to another thought about discipline, about how one approaches their work. When I was newer at making comics, there was more hope and like desire for success from making a comic book. And I would get very intensely focused on it for 3 months or whatever, make a full comic, grind it out, push myself too hard, really. It's something unsustainable. And yeah, there was hope tied up with it, that I'm looking for a certain outcome. So there's a bit of an emotional roller coaster with it too. And that is like, I think we romanticize passion and intense focus, and that picture, we kind of romanticize that and think that that is a sign of great vitality, great creativity, greatness, I guess, commitment. And I think that is not quite accurate. I'm struggling to make this point, but I think I'll use an analogy. Like, if I were to go to a casino to try to gamble and get rich quick, that would look like risk taking, because I'm throwing it all to the wind in one moment, hoping for a good outcome. That looks like risk taking. But it is trying to, in one leap, reach a goal in one leap. That is something that drunk people do. That is something that despairing people do, desperate people do, right? But to be willing to plant and to build a life and take it slow, that's a risk taking too. It's a different kind of risk taking to invest for something future, because you're risking that. If you were to invest years and years in, say, becoming a very good comic artist, you're running the risk that you die before you reach your goal, that you never achieve monetary success or praise that you desire, that you never achieve it, or even to yourself. You might never truly be happy with your work or feel as good as you wish you had become. You might die before you get there. You might lose your eyesight. Like, anything could happen that would get in the way. And so to be at day 1, year 10, and keep going is a great investment, a great risk. But it's not like the person at the casino that's just trying to make it in one big leap. You're doing it one step at a time. That is someone that believes in life. That is believing in life. That is vitality. That is hope, real hope, not despair. Not the going to the casino, which is more like despair. Nice analogy. I've thought this thought before, I'm sure, that like if I were a vampire, that born in 1700s or whatever, like, gosh, I would be so rich, so skilled. I would know all these languages because I would study them. I would be really good at instruments and just know everything about history, and it would just be so fun to know so much and to make such beautiful art, and be so rich, because I would, even if I just made a regular person's salary, I could, well, that's enough. You just save a little bit here and there, and because you live hundreds of years, you're going to be vastly wealthy. So there's this exciting or romantic idea of what would be possible if you could live forever. But if I were to have, I guess, faith and hope and great courage, great risk taking, because I am only mortal. If I were to invest from my mortal position towards that long future that goes beyond even my own lifetime, if I were to lay those bricks, that is beautiful. That is daring. That is vitality. That's what we should aspire towards. And I think this applies to any area of life. And when this picture is not meant to be any insult to people that are in poverty and struggle. I've been there and I get it. It's hard to not live in a state of chaos and compulsion and impulsivity and so on when you're having a hard time. And maybe the best thing you can do is make it another day sometimes in life. It can be tough. But drop a penny, and not like literal money, but drop a penny in your piggy bank. Maintain a hope that someday, maybe you can't even drop a penny, but tomorrow, the next day, someday, you will. during these times like right now when I don't have much time or focus on comics, this gives me encouragement to think of it this way. To know that all I have to do is maintain that goal, that investment, even if it's not today, maybe tomorrow I draw a little bit, and it's a little more investment into it. So, this page is almost done here. Today's video is a lot shorter than usual. Usually they're more like 30 or 40 minutes. This is half that because I accidentally recorded at 10 times speed instead of 5 times speed on the pencils anyways. I think the inks might be 5 times. But I had the setting incorrect. Does just fine, I think. It's just shorter for you guys. The finished page, I've got the guy in the foreground in a lot of shadow so that he separates from the background. My shadows, these are really warm colors. I'm not using really cool shadows to separate that foreground and background. That is part of just the color palette I'm kind of stuck with here. But we'll see. Maybe I will, throughout the rest of the book, it might be nighttime or something, and then I'm going to introduce variations on the palette and get some cooler shadows that'll help me create contrast. But it is differentiated enough for my liking. And that is the page. Like I said, a nice shape, like a T or a triangle with the point pointing down from the top panel to the third panel with her face there. And then from there, a nice row of 3. Even here, I've got on the last 3 some variation in the camera angle, but it's a variation which changes the shape of things. So, although she's walking to the left, not to the right, the camera's on the left of her, and it's creating an angle to the wall, to the floor, that is pointing towards the next panel. It's creating a more of a V shape. And then the next panel is very flat. It's like more of a square. That's a little bit of variety that I can put into the images. If they had a similar, shape, a similar angles of lines on them, or the overall the way the composition feels with positive and negative space, it feels redundant. It doesn't speak as clearly. So trying to do that just as I pencil it on the page, just trying to have a good eye for those things. That's it for this week. Be the practice of your art. I'll keep doing the same and sharing my practice here on this channel. Bye.